I think there's a reasonable argument for the Golden State Warriors right now. They just beat those Boston Celtics, as we talked about, come into Thursday's games at 7-1, third in offensive efficiency and second in defensive efficiency, according to NBA.com's numbers. Every site that you look at has different possession counts and different sort of strength of schedule metrics and adjustments. But so far, good on both ends of the court. That's the big takeaway. Stephen Curry, obviously, still the determining factor in pretty much every game that he is on the court for. You've been getting better play, like championship year caliber play from Andrew Wiggins, Gary Payton II, and Kevon Looney. So the depth component of the Warriors has been improved dramatically. Moving on from Klay Thompson hurt emotionally, but in terms of them redistributing those assets to bring in Kyle Anderson, bring in DeAnthony Melton, bring in Buddy Hield, elevate those guys, this looks like a really deep and sort of talented team. Maybe most important of all, Draymond Green, 220 minutes, 1 technical foul. He's on his best behavior, Tom. So we're not, if we strip out the time where Draymond Green misses 15 games for chokeslamming somebody, this should be a pretty good team all around. And by my count, Oklahoma City's roster on the whole, all combined, 178 playoff games. Steph and Draymond together, 145 by themselves. Be honest, in a 7-game series, are you taking the Oklahoma City Thunder over the Golden State Warriors as presently constructed?
I am. And the reason is, and I do love the Golden State Warriors this year. Before the season, smashed the over on this team. They've got a lot of high IQ players. They got a lot of depth. And I think Buddy Hield is going to do a nice job of replacing Klay Thompson.
He's been sensational so far.
Do we think that they are going to win as Buddy Hield being the second best player on the team? Because that's what he's been so far this season. Buddy Hield has been outrageous, shooting 50% from downtown. He's scoring over 20 points a game this season, where it's like he couldn't get off the bench for the Sixers last year. It was his first postseason, and he couldn't get into the rotation until it was too late. So I guess most of my skepticism about, and it's very little skepticism, is just the Buddy Hield thing feels like at some point he's going to come back down to earth and not be the greatest shooter of all time. Steph Curry and Buddy Hield have created the Splash Buddies. I love it. It's a great nickname. I do think that there's a little bit of way over the top Buddy Hield coming back to earth that I think it's just not totally sustainable. If they make a trade where they're like, you know what, Steph, Draymond, Andrew Wiggins, like let's turn 4 quarters into $1 here in terms of the rotation and make a trade for a big name player, whether it's Giannis Antetokounmpo, just throwing it out there. This is all out the window. With Giannis on the team, I think they're going to be the title favorites. But to me, a lot of their early season surprise has been predicated on Buddy Hield making ridiculous shots. And he's a great 3-point shooter. Over the last few seasons, more threes made than Stephen Curry himself. But I do think that it's a little too over the top for me to buy fully. But I still think they're a legit title contender.
This really just sounds to me like a lack of faith in Kyle Anderson. But nevertheless, we move on.